10 seconds remaining.
Well, hello everybody and welcome back. We're into another day, another edition of Star
5 seconds
Series 13.
remaining.
It's the Star Ladder / I-League season, and it's the biggest one yet. $300,000 prize pull up for grabs, and we are getting into the final part of stage number 2. By the end of the day, we will know exactly the next 2 teams to qualify into that LAN, and 1 teams are going to have to battle it out in the last chance bracket. I'll explain more of that as I've learned about it myself over the past day, and I want to educate everyone else out there. But in the meantime, this is KotlGuy bringing you the cast. I'm going to be joined remotely once again from the one and mighty Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance, how's it going, my friend? I have to pose the question at the start. Are Navi going to be back today?
10 seconds remaining.
My guess is yes. And I'm hoping
5
that
seconds
both you and I
remaining.
are here to witness this journey together. But, you know, VP, they looked pretty strong last night.
They did.
Virtus.Pro's turn to pick.
I haven't been able to personally see a whole lot of Navi's games at the start. I believe OD has been taking most of those at the start of the day, but from what I've heard, they have been doing pretty well recently, and even with their sporty new roster. But Virtus.Pro also sporting a new core player here in Silent, and they have found, well, some seriously good success. They were able to pull out some upsets, including the one you were mentioning, a very strong fight against a team like Alliance.
10 seconds remaining.
It's not, sorry, yeah. Was it against Alliance? Yeah, they were able to take down Alliance.
5 seconds remaining.
And I believe even pull out the upset against OG. So now we have to see what they're going to be doing here against Virtus.Pro. And as I said, I was going to talk about the group stage a bit, because there was a little confusion, including myself, about where we were going from here and what kind of playoff bracket. So here it is. Oh, production here. Let me go ahead and remove this overlay. That's the wrong button. There we go. All right. Group A, Group B. We're back in Group A right now. You can see Alliance already in. They have already qualified. They don't have to worry about anything else. But we need to find out exactly who's going to be taking that 2nd and 3rd place. Who's going to also join Alliance, and who's going to have to battle it in that last chance bracket. OG, they're already down there. They're in the dumps right now. They are 1 and 2 on their series. Group B, Vega secured their spot, but we also find out later on today who's going to be taking that 2nd/3rd spot between CIS Rejects, Liquid, and Team Secret.
remaining.
We'll talk more about that later, but why don't we go ahead and get into the draft itself here, Clairvoyance.
5
Navi have
seconds
opened up
remaining.
with a Tusk Bane, and Virtus.Pro have grabbed
Virtus.Pro's
Queen of
turn to
Pain
bat.
and Slardar here. So interesting stuff. Now we're going to get some respect towards that tiny wisp we saw a lot yesterday.
And of course now the Ember being banned out,
Navi's turn
in fear
to
of the
bat.
Queen of Pain or the Slaughter getting disrupted in their combos from the Searing Chains, as well as the natural elusiveness of the hero. I think both teams are kind of opting for some comfort picks here, and you know, we know G is possibly one of the best Queen of Pains in the world, and Slaughter is
10
obviously a hero
seconds
that's always been the flavor ever since just the time before majors, you know, coming into play and
Virtus.Pro's
dominating the
turn
scene,
to bat.
sweeping off its foot kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Tusk Bane, no real surprises here either. We were actually surprised last night, I believe, that the Tusk was getting through so far into the pool. And Bane, again, ever since DG introduced it in its full form, no real surprises either in the first 2.
Yeah, it's looking more like teams just kind of fill into that their own personal, in that moment kind of
5
meta, and
seconds
sometimes you just
remaining.
forget about heroes, and you'll see some crazy stuff. Like yesterday at the back end of the day, Liquid pulled out a 5th pick Wisp. It was almost as if they just forgot the hero was there, and then they're like, oh, we need another support. What would do the job here? And they're like, wait, hold on. There's a Wisp out there. Let's go ahead and go for it. They got the Wisp, and then they got the convenience of being able to do that mid-lane Wisp pull, and that was pretty much the reason why they got the win against Secret. It really shut Weehaw down in the mid lane hard. So sometimes you could just never sleep on the draft, and something might creep in and surprise you, like in that case. But here we are, standard and forward, Virtus.Pro, pick up the Winter Wyvern. Clairvoyance, I on the Ember ban further, it's just it surprises me, because if it was back at like MLG, teams would almost just bait out that the other team goes for Ember Spirit just so that they can secure themselves something like a Night
10
Stalker.
seconds
But
remaining.
it looks like faith in the Night Stalker isn't there as it once was. In fact, it's going to be banned now
5 seconds
by
remaining.
Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, I think it's a wise choice. I mean, if you do decide to ban the Ember, as you say,
Reserve
you don't
time.
have that Night Stalker option, or even if you do, rather, it's just not as strong because you're not going up against the Ember since you banned it. So it's like I guess a logical process. In the meantime, the Winter Wyvern does get through as a result, and this hero we haven't seen much in recently. We've seen it in the ban stages only in the first 2. It's good to see that it's finally making its play here. Obviously, one of the best supporting heroes in the game right now.
Virtus.Pro's
Now, Wind
turn
Ranger
to
coming
pick.
up here for Navi, what looks like the Dendi hero. It's not... Sometimes I always get into these small little discussions when we're talking about Dendi as a mid lane player, and you're always kind of questioning where he fits with this specific meta. You know, it's not like the olden days where you could just pull out that puck in mid lane, or even just a stylish quap. Now it's like we need 6 slotted core mid laners that can also transition to be a problem in the late game or be heavy fighters. Wind Ranger is one of those that does it well, you know, very elusive at the start, then suddenly gets an Ags and then a +1 damage item, and she is wrecking face all over the place. And well, Dendi can show his stuff on that, but we always kind of wonder where he lands on that totem pole compared to some of the best out there now. But we do know Wind Ranger to be very good against the likes of Winter Wyvern there, Clairvoyance. But Virtus.Pro not taking much time to quickly respond with a Phantom Lancer. Maybe another reason they wanted to ban out that Ember at the start.
Yeah, it's definitely something that they had premeditated upon, I feel. There's definitely not a lot of PL counters. You can argue that Tusk, Ice Shards, as well as Windrunner's AoE coming from the Power Shot might be able to clear like the first initial wave of illusions, but PL is really a sustained fighter that likes to have an extended duration of fights and just spam illusions all over the place. So in that sense, Navi are pretty single target centric and limited to cooldowns and abilities. So they really will have to pick up the AoE potential here.
One crazy manly method is grabbing up a Sven or something like that. I don't see it to be too far-fetched of a Ditya Raw kind of a hero. Other than that, it's trying to put the pieces together, and maybe you could shove Tusk into a support position, grab an off-lane Magnus, and then a +1 to take advantage of his, you know, mighty cleave and damage. But look at this. They do get some sort of cleave. They get a Jug. He's, of course, got, you know, at least as of recently, everyone's picking up the Battle Fury, so that will help out a bit. What do you think about the Juggernaut grab?
I think it's a nice grab, and I imagine that the Magnus would have actually been their 5th pick immediately thereafter if they didn't ban it out. So VP, recognizing that the Juggernaut could be a potential threat in the mid-late game stages with the Magnus, with the Empower, decided to remove it from play. Nicely done. I do think Navi still have other options, of course. Juggernaut, again, it's just a good hero, and I do think Sven would have been nice as well. My only concern with the Sven would have been that it's just an easier kite / easier kill. Juggernaut's like, you can Omni Slash even through illusions, and then if you have a Battle Fury, you'll cleave through during your attacks in between the Omni Slashes. So
I like that ban a lot. I was thinking that might have been something that Virtus.Pro could look over. We know FNG to play a lot of Ancient Apparition, and, you know, Jug does awful, you know, come with that ward and come with a bit of sustain, and not something he wants to have to deal with, so they just banned it out. But I guess maybe it was something Virtus.Pro were not thinking about, because the second that's banned, they're quick to pick up now the Earthshaker grab here and now. A support shaker. And look at this guy. We haven't seen this ugly guy in a while. Lich coming out. Normally we see him paired in tandem with Doom, but this time they're just like, we need this Lich here and now to win a lane or something. That's a bit of a peculiar pick. Oh, it helps with the armor, I guess. That's nice. Claire helps with the armor against the Slardar.
Right. I do think it is somewhat of a peculiar pick, as you said, though. The thing with Lich's interaction against PL is, even though the Chain Frost might prove to be really good against illusions and whatnot, the one issue you have is, first of all, if he doppelgangers, he takes away all the illusions as well as himself from the fight, and then becomes invulnerable, and then Lich all of a sudden loses targets to bounce to with the ultimate. And then the Frost armor, it actually gets removed by the Purge when PL has the Diffusal. So in that sense, I'm not sure how effective it'll be in the mid-game stages, but this hero, most of the time when it is picked up, as you said, it is in tandem with the Doom, and it is more of a commitment to win the lanes. I'm just not sure if it's something they needed, because they already have a Bane and a Tusk. They have like a lot of really good early game heroes, and I feel like right now, if they don't snowball the lanes hard, they might be facing up some trouble against the PL.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I definitely can see where you're pointing out where his shortcomings may come into play, and we'll see if that's going to be the case or not. But I would expect then, if they're anticipating that mid game could be a bit rough for this Lich, that I would love to see the alternative reason. A strong laning phase would have to be the case here for Navi if that's what they're going for. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, starting up game number 1, Virtus.Pro taking on Navi. This will determine who is going to be where in group number A. I just said number A. God, it's an early morning already. But we'll find out, joining OG in the last chance bracket, and what team is just going to have this safe, quick trip out instead to compete at the land in Belarus. Should be a good time, but we might see a possible skirmish towards the top part of the lane here. Both teams going towards this rune quite a bit, with the exception, of course, of Little Silent here. He doesn't have a ward or anything, but he's just spotting out if any offlaners trying to plant one, it looks like. But we might see a first blood here, Clairvoyance.
Yeah, it's very possible. I think Navi are going to see them and have to give up on the engagement. VP is a lot stronger here, I think.
Definitely so. A proper placed fissure could just isolate a perfect fight here for Virtus.Pro. They also, of course, have the early possible crush, and then you never can forget the pesky curse from Lil. And as you said, the second Navi see what's going on, they're like, oh, no thank you. They pop out and
fighting
go
with a level 1 Lich that immediately skilled sacrifice, it's probably not going to be in your favor.
Oh, and it's a big loss if you end up trying to scale something else just for a level 1. A little tough. So it looks like Lich is going to be helping out the bottom lane here, so joining Ax.Mo, as I believe. I would assumed it was Ax.Mo. Obviously, I'm just a dumb American, but apparently I was listening to OD cast it, and it's Ax.Mo. I'm not sure if you had any extra intel on it or not, but their newest Navi member here going to be repping the offlane Tusks in side by side with Lich here.
Wow. Not a lot of nice harassment coming out on G, and SoNNeikO taking some extra damage for some extra harassment.
Classic duel versus duel mid lane now. No more of this 1v1 stuff. Now, if you want to make sure your mid has a good time, you got to have someone there to have his back. And Bane, one of the best in the game at it, as you see, begins to go to work. Not even a big damage on the sap, just letting him know he's there, and don't even think about going for the CS. So annoying.
Yeah, ever since the change to 70 mana cost, it's just so affordable.
He used to be so mana starved. That was such a nice change for the better here. I mean, do you think Bane is just in a nice, more balanced place as it is right now, or do you think he's at risk of getting a little hate from Ice Frog?
I definitely feel like he might get a slight tweak that's not in his favors. I don't want to say a nerf, because nerfs are generally like a lot more conclusive.
Oh, we might have to hold it though. Bottom lane, Ax.Mo could be in trouble. Snowball on back. Fissure's there to block, and now a Spirit Lance coming out means the possible demise here, Mr. Ax.Mo. It looks like the Tusk will be.
Oh, he might deny himself.
Deny. Pops the wand. Might have actually not helped. Oh, he goes down. FNG with the emphatic crush right there in the fissure. Will be able to put him into the grave right there. And first blood is going to be shed. Virtus.Pro will pick that one up. And as we touch base here with the mid lane, G at 4-0. Dendi, 8-4 right now in CS, is taking command. Top lane, which we haven't talked much about, it's Ditya, 7-2 CS in his matchup against DkPhobos. Phobos is finding good CS though for himself in this solo lane setup. You know, 6-5, yep. Level 3.5. That's pretty nice.
It is a 1v1 matchup, and of course Juggernaut can't really spin freely in a 1v1 scenario, so I would imagine the Slaughter with his 6 armor, with his boots now, 350 MS, and his amazing physical damage with crush as well as right clicks do pretty well. But as you pointed out at bottom, man, that Tusk kind of ruined that situation for himself, really. I think he anticipated a Wyvern right click as he was making the turn, but Wyvern's too slow, and FNG is going to try to harass here at the middle line, but just a Fissure.
Yeah, this is where the action has been going down. Just before that, they dished out a lot of work onto G, and he needed the assistance of FNG to be nearby. So I don't think FNG is going to be traveling too far from this mid lane from here on out, which could be a bit of trouble for Silent in the bottom lane. If he doesn't have to worry about this Earthshaker down here, this Lich and Tusk can really go to work. Lil's trying to help out a bit, though, with that creep equilibrium. He's got the pull-through already going on. And, well, against my words and wise wisdom, which is not very wise at times, FNG is going to be going to the bottom lane right now, so leaving G at his lonesome here in the mid lane. But, uh-oh. What happens now? He's all alone. Slept up under the tower. They're going to have enough to deal with it. Dendi looking to line up maybe a shackle by a tree. G's like, I'm going to stick right by the side here. In the meantime, they do get the Tusk down, but as you see, once G is left, G is dead. But at least they are able to get something in the bottom lane. With that rotation, Tusk will be going down.
Yeah, so nice exchange, I guess all around, so to speak. G dying there he was really, really cocky. He actually dove past the tower because he had a double creep wave and wanted to harass Dendi through. But little did he know that SoNNeikO was still in the vicinity, just stacking woods as he's doing now and just keeping presence overall. So he really paid the price for being so aggressive.
Yeah, and especially giving himself such a big leash when he knew that FNG was no longer going to be there behind him just in case something was to go wrong. But maybe a lesson learned for him from here on out. Touch back at top lane. Your king of CS is now your Ditya Jug. So he quickly farms up, but, you know, the exchanges, look at Slaughter on the other side. He's actually a higher level than Jug right now. And it looks like he's going to go for the early Tranquils here, but, oh, they're able to get a kill on the other side. Lich going to be going down here. Another engagement from FNG set up with a fissure, and it looks like they're going to be grabbing another one. 3-1 now for Virtus.Pro.
You know, I do understand that that Navi don't have a ward placed in the woods or anything like that to scout out this Earthshaker getting in position, but they're getting caught out a lot of times with this terrain blocking Fissure. And of course, Earthshaker's specialty is known for this in the early stages of the game before the Blink Dagger. But the blocks just seem to be coming in way too easily for VP right now. So I think Navi, they need to ramp up their caution awareness type of thing.
Yeah, or at least get some more wards if they're going to be available, because down on the side they don't have any vision over to the left to see if anyone's going to be approaching from the woods of VP. Silent gets harassed a bit, but he's fine, steps back. FNG's back in his mid lane defensive position here, so Silent knows he's going to be out alone, and unlike G, will play things a bit more reserved here in the lane. Always has it right by the tower to his convenience, or the convenience that Lil set up for him, and they'll just continue to grind it out right now. So who do you think's getting the better end of the early start of this game? You know, we're just in the birth of the laning phase, but any kind of inkling towards one side or the other who's kind of making the better trade?
Yeah, I think the kill board definitely favors VP, but hold that thought at bottom.
Jesus Christ, Artstyle, could he die? For once, when I could see it down the bottom lane, though, his partner could be also taken down. Lil already looking to cut him off, is waiting for him, and, well, that means that Tusk has really nowhere to go, and he's going to be going down. The Lance is going to pick up that one there from Silent, and VP string another one together, pushing them ahead 5-1.
Yeah, so it's probably a little more straightforward than before now that the scoreboard indicates 5-1 favor in VP. But, you know, Navi, they still have the two top farmers in Dendi as well as Ditya playing the Juggernaut and the Windrunners. And even so, though, VP, if they can get their early levels, which I think they are doing out of these kills and just the lane control overall, it's going to be hard for Navi to make plays in the mid game because, again, they have a lot of single target heroes that need to rely on the execution against the PL. And lo and behold, this PL is snowballing quite well, I would say. 3-0 in 2 by 6 minutes. You're a pretty happy PL.
Oh, for sure. Mid lane, they may be happy to find a possible kill here. Man, the tip of that fissure, able to catch on Dendi now. He does quickly prop the win run and will get away from the trouble. But Virtus.Pro just kind of continue to make their presence known between this mid and bottom lane. And you can see the benefits from it, as you said. Silent 3-0 on a PL. Unheard of this early into the game. And with that, he'd be able to build up an early set of drums, and he'll be able to segue into his mid/late game period earlier and better than ever. And you're looking at Navi, who still are kind of struggling a bit. The fortunate thing for them is Ditya continues to be patient in finding his farm in the top lane, and he really is supposed to be coming online in the mid game, but I don't know, by that point we could see a pretty tanky VP squad, and his Omni Slash is not going to be able to make any sort of, good debut.
The Cold Embrace is actually a very powerful tool this game. Against Windrunner's Focus Fire as well as the Omni Slash, it just completely negates and nullifies all the damage coming through. And it could be a real problem. And of course, that's part of the reason why this hero doesn't get through very often nowadays. Windrunner almost got caught by the Fissure, but not only was there Tusk backup, but the Fissure itself didn't actually connect. So VP are just going to have to be content, denying up the creeps here at mid and just getting their levels up. And speaking of levels, Lil's already level 6 basically. You see him at the bottom line, he's about to pick it up.
He had been spending so much time in those woods doing the pulls and getting all that solo XP for himself, and now making trades like this that he's been way up and ahead now. Ax.Mo here being slowed down. Silent's just kind of swarming him a bit. Now there is a rotation in, which will force Silent back. He committed pretty hard for that one, and was all over this 8-minute rune, which he was able to snag up. Now he'll head his way back towards the bottom lane and join his company. But now with an early Winter's Curse, I'm curious to see if they're going to be looking to put this to use right away, or if they're just going to use it to force Navi to still remain very defensive.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So the Navi support's rotating down bottom, but the curse is available.
And Lil already jumps out to the right. Look at this, a trifecta of TPs coming in. They already have the sleep set up. Wyvern's like, sorry, buddy, you're done for. I got to go. And sure enough, Navi do have to commit the whole frickin' team down here, but they are going to get the kill on the PL.
Yep, 5-man down at 9 minutes into the game. I think I've seen this before. At the end of the day, the PL does go down, so that's a big win for Navi now since the PL has been relatively free farming. But they still did commit 5 heroes. So that really opens up the space for Phobos at top, who I guess he hasn't been farming too much because he rotated to the woods earlier. But he's going to pick up some more here, and of course the middle lane getting pushed in means that Dendi has to rotate back as well. So it's not so much of just the kill, but it's more what they get out of the kill. And so far, Navi haven't gotten too much out of the kill.
Some of them are still, the residue of this gank is still kind of hanging around this bottom lane. He was first Lil by himself at risk of possibly being dove, but now Silent is back. And Mr. Ditya is stuck between creeps. He's going to be forced to Omni Slash out. A quick reaction of Lil Cold Embrace is going to be saving him, and with the damage mitigated, He's going to be fine, and they're going to be able to get that kill, and Ditya goes down. That felt a bit too forced, like they were down there hungry for something, and they didn't get any of it, so they just anxiously hung around and unfortunately got themselves into a bad situation.
And I'm actually surprised they didn't go for the Bane kill up top there. The Fissure actually placed the Bane on the right side of the terrain blocking Fissure, but I think the Slaughter could have sprinted through the creeps and amplified and stuff. But speaking of amplified, Dendi gets amped up in mid and gets his rune actually stolen by the sprinting Slaughter, so not a bad sequence of events for VP.
I guess one nice thing for him, though, is Artstyle was able to come in just in time, and I thought he was going to hand off a bottle here. Oh, it looks like he did hand it off, but it didn't work in time, so he has to put it back on the courier, and the courier's going to have to go back to base. So, oh, maybe not fortunate at all there for Dendi. Bottom lane at the same moment, Virtus.Pro getting ready to swarm around this tier 1 tower and take their first objective structure of the game. This will open up more options to them onto the map, and maybe a Roche, though. I would say at first they don't have great damage for Roche, but hey, you got amp damage on your team. So I think anything's going to be
Anytime
fine.
Slaughter is there, you definitely can.
Oh!
Wow, nice shackle coming out Dendi.
Dendi gets the catch between Silent and Lil, but he certainly does not have the damage. They easily turn it back and around, and oh my goodness, they hit him with a couple of ults, and he goes crashing down. And now they look for Lil. Tusk's going to come in on in, but Artstyle's in trouble. Gets off the quick ulti, but they quickly spread it apart with that doppelganger, as you talked about in the draft. 2 kills now for Virtus.Pro as they're about to make it 3. Making a move for Ax.Mo, and they're going to get it. Tusk goes down. 3 for nil, and oh no, poor SoNNeikO. Nice dodge right there. But it doesn't matter in the end. It looks like they might be able to still creep on him here. Doesn't really have a lot of mana. Tier 1, no one to TP to. And people could come back now, but it doesn't matter. In the end, Clairvoyance, it is 4 Navi members going down. Virtus.Pro, I mean, it was going good before, but now it's going pretty damn great.
Yeah, and of course, they also got the tier 1 tower, and in the meantime, DkPhobos has been farming, free farming, I might add, just like the Juggernaut has been. And speaking of the Juggernaut, he's actually opted for the Treads, which is a very farm-oriented build. I think the general consensus with pros is that even though Treads is so good because Juggernaut has such a good base attack time, the phase is something that you really need. Like a lot of gyrocopters would go phase as well, even though they can attack much faster with the Treads. So I don't know. It's not something that I've seen to too much success because I really like the mobility from phase boost as well amongst other people, but we'll see.
I mean, if it's a farming build, as you said, then maybe he's just thinking, I got to get this freaking Battle Fury sooner than later with how fast
he has to
Silent
get
is getting farmed.
for sure.
Yeah, he's like, I got to play catch up when I can, and I guess it also means the chance of going out and finding kills. They're smoked up now, looking ahead into VP territory here. Silent is around. He's half of his life. They're going to quickly get the vision. Does he have a doppelganger? Oh, no, he does not. He's got Fiend's Grip, though. And he goes down. Nice 2-man tag team action there. Tusk in to watch, but all right, successful pick off. That's a step in the right direction here for Navi.
You know, normally Silent has the awareness to scale things out like that, but hold that thought. DkPhobos at mid.
Yep, nice shackle and a full focus fire ulti. Eventually, FNG will stop him with the fissure. Turnaround curse comes out from Lil, catches the 2, and look who walks in and says, how do you do? It's FNG with a big old dunk, and they're going to turn it into a 2-for-2 trade here. Ditya rotates to the mid lane. He actually still has that Omni. Lil's thinking about chasing, but now they snowball back in. He actually doesn't pick up the jug, but it doesn't matter. He'll get there. Can he spin on through? No, these pesky shards are in the way, but it doesn't matter. Ax.Mo's able to pick that up, but he will then go down. G makes his face known, and he is on a mega kill streak here. Woo! When the dust does settle, what would you say? Virtus.Pro maybe getting a bit, but because Navi was so far behind, it looks like they're going to be getting the gold advantage.
Yeah, so nicely done by them. Of course, Silent, in the meanwhile, spawned back and decided to farm up now. But again, the problems still do linger. So I think what Navi have to do is they have to smoke again, just like they did before, and look for another silent kill. They have the ward placed from SoNNeikO earlier to do so, but it will be more difficult now because they probably need more members. Last time was really, really lucky for them.
Oh. Tusk will spot out Queen of Pain here, not looking to commit too much onto anything.
Oh, they dropped a sentry.
Oh. He's
Dendi's in this. Yeah, I think they noticed it.
And they're gonna go for Tusk. Tusk gonna die so fast, and they're like, "Hey, I see a Dendi over there." And oh, he does get on the wrong side of the fissure, but it looks like he'll make it away. Man, that almost was a 2-for-none special for Virtus.Pro if Dendi was just an inch further in. But luckily for him, they had put all their aggression onto their Tusk, and he just went down real fast. But still, domination. Virtus.Pro 14 to freaking 5. It's nearly 13K net worth advantage, and it doesn't stop there. Man, they jump in and they put Lich down. Dendi tries to land off a shackle, does not connect, and he's trying to run here. Oh, I thought they actually could've-
there's a winter rider.
Oh, they catch up. They actually get him, yeah, with the curse. Urn goes out, Dendi to drop. Phobos just jumps in and crushes him.
Yeah, looks like it does look like they're slowly falling apart, but they still haven't lost too many of the major objectives. I mean, they still hold 5 of their towers. Again, I do wonder how long, because this Juggernaut really needs items to be able to combat this PL, and this PL is going to slowly be naturally able to push in, as he's doing now. He doesn't really care too much about the tusk spam or all these things, because he knows right now, like, they need all their heroes to kill him.
No, he does
Speaking
not
of all their
have a
heroes,
TP,
they're bringing all the heroes.
Yeah, I'm like, he doesn't have a TP. Navi see this, and they're like, that man can't get out scot-free. We got to stop him. They're looking to cut him off. Tusk like, I did my job. I held him here. And finally, all Navi are just, get that freaking PL. Oh, my God. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, buddy. There's nowhere to hide. They go all the way down deep for that, and they'll get it.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he actually didn't have a TP, so that was a little too deep without a TP scroll. I think, though, I like his inventory. This is like the build that Aggressive and a lot of other PLs do in general with the Aquila drums. The reason you always go bots, and I guess No-Till's like the only one that doesn't buy bots, he always buys treads, is because of this. Like, you have this inventory slot-starved situation where you can't put a TP scroll without taking out the Quelling Blade now he did, or losing the Magic Stick, which has so much efficiency value on the PL. So a lot of concerns for him until he gets his boots of travels.
Oh, what's happening here? Top lane. Bane's looking to creep in behind on FNG. Dendi also intercepting from the side. It looks like they may be able to get SoNNeikO down first. And then FNG says, I'm going to use this neutral camp and dunk your ass. Turns it around. Dendi's going to be able to get the kill, but G's the one to clean it up. Now look at this. The return of Navi as they're rolling on in. Oh, man, they're going to get him down with help from the Chain Frost. Phobos runs in, and he does a quick 180 and says, maybe not. But they turn back once more. They got a big Winter's Curse, and that's going to help finish off Artstyle. And now Lil will need to step himself back and away from Ditya on his mighty spin. But Silent has also shown up to the battle now. Tries to make a going for the Tusk. Tusk holds himself in a snowball here. Might be able to get... No, couldn't get the click on the Lil. Couldn't get the finish on the DkPhobos. And Virtus.Pro may, again, be able to etch out from this fight slightly the better.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but the Juggernaut couldn't use their Omni Slash there because during the duration of his spin, he realized he was about to die as soon as he came out, and there were too many targets for the Omni Slash to be effective. So back to farming he goes, and I think VP are going to be pretty content with a free top tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they're only their second tower of this game. I mean, obviously, it seems like they're just happy to take the kills and know that they can comfortably take their time with farming up, but Lil can't be comfortable now, shackled up to that lone little tree. He will get off the cold embrace. He's going to make him work for it. But he will go down in the end. And Navi will be able to scrap together themselves at least something. And still preserve this tier 1 tower. Really making VP work for it.
Yeah, they actually committed all their heroes coming back to be able to stop that push. Again, a lot of these movements are like very... I feel like there's a lot of knee-jerk reaction type of things here.
Yeah.
I think them giving up that tower wouldn't have been too bad. Especially because they don't have a follow-up objective at top. Now what we see is a whole bunch of heroes that TP'd into a lane that they don't have a follow-up on and just scattering around. This kind of move is like really tough on a Wind Ranger because her farm is extremely limited. And now she's going to get caught out because she did the walking process.
Oh, but trouble could be right there for Phobos. As he goes in, he doesn't realize that, yeah, that Navi pool of heroes was making its migration all the way down to the mid lane. So they were quickly behind Dendi. And, you know, it's obvious that Virtus.Pro are happy to go on these 5-on-5 fights. I mean, they feel they have the better farm and the better team to do so, and frankly, they've been showing that they are. And with the curse up and at the ready, they're itching for a possible fight, poking a bit at this mid-tier 1 tower. And if that's not the case, they know they can easily draw Navi all together in one spot, and people like Silent can just do as they please over on the side. Him and G both continue to just find the farm on the side.
Yeah, I think every time Navi does this 5-man assembly thing to try and save somebody that's getting caught out in their own woods or something like that, it really just does hurt them. And when you do this kind of thing, I guess you're forced to kind of keep doing it. But never mind that, because right now, as I thought they were going to do it, they're just going to go straight for Roche with the Medallion pickup on SoNNeikO. And with Juggernaut coming in with the Battle Fury, they should be able to secure this.
Now,
so this is actually a very nice sneak pickup.
But they do have that ward. Virtus.Pro has a ward by the secret shop here. They saw the movement down there, so I think they know this is happening. They know this is happening. Tusk, preemptive shard, trying to block them, back it away. They see Artstyle, they want to get him out, but they also need to make sure they get someone into the pit. FNG's going to be dishing out the fissure. He does a solo dunk just on the Ax.Mo. They got to get to that pit, though, if they want to stop him, and they can't. Ditya's going to be able to pick up the Aegis, but it might go to use. He quickly gets the Omnium off before he goes down, but it's not going to be doing a whole lot of damage, and everyone else from Navi is already dead. Oh, poor Ditya. They're happy they got that Roche, but they're not going to be happy about this. They lose their whole team. Virtus.Pro don't go down one bit. And if they want or not, they may or may not push down a lane and just continue progressing towards these objectives. It looks like they will go for the mid-tier 1, but still leave Silent elsewhere to farm up.
Dire's middle
Yeah,
tower is
that's,
under
again,
attack.
this is just a product of them forcing all these 5-man movements because at this point they don't really have alternatives. But despite the attempt being kind of good,
Dire's middle tower has
when
fallen.
the enemy team recognizes it the way they did, like VP reacted very quickly. As you pointed out, they have the ward there, and of course, even though it was a smoke, it was kind of one of those sure tell things. And they did see other heroes walking in the way they did. I think Artstyle too was isolated outside the pit, so it was like all the hints and signs were there.
Yeah, there was also a flying courier. I wasn't quick enough to react what was on it at the time, but the second the courier and Jug were crossing over the ward, that's when VP pinged out frantically. Like,
Yeah,
the courier might have been holding another tell, and they're just like, oh, they are definitely at the Roche pit. They're definitely there. Let's get going.
And honestly, it's like I know the score makes it kind of obvious, but to point out another way of why VP seems like they're outplaying Navi so hard is during the 5-mans that were happening, especially the tier 1 tower defense at top. FNG actually planted that secret shot ward, and I don't know if SoNNeikO has an idea about that or not, because it hasn't been touched at all. They haven't bought any sentries since, and as you said, this is the ward that's scouting out a lot of Navi's movements where they don't want to be seen.
It's a nice and ballsy ward this early into the game, and that's what will give you those early intel reads that could just dramatically put you way ahead in the game, and it pays off so well. It's a high risk, high reward support move. It often goes unnoticed in most games.
Yeah, exactly. It's just these little things really do make an impact on what the future actions and reactions come out to be. But again, it was during the time Navi 5-man top to defend the tower, and what did they get out in return? They just lose more on the map, and again, it's like the trade-off that you really have to consider with all your TPs and whatnot. The high level.
Just saw it right there live and in the wild. FNG, they smoke, they go all the way through, they don't find a pickoff, but it looks like they will actually find a pickoff here. And Artstyle will be going down. They spot him out. This comes after another nice ward has been planted. I mean, he does ping there now as if maybe there's a bit of vision there, so it could be something they look to sentry out next, but that ward helps them get that kill, and with that kill, they can segue themselves down and go for a tier 2 tower. Everything's starting to come together nicely here for Virtus.Pro, and we have to start figuring out what is the game plan going to be for Navi. Is their high ground defense good enough? Can they hold out? And will they be able to, stall this game out a bit longer for their Jug to be an actual problem?
Middle tower is under attack.
They definitely have to wait for a big mistake or an overextending coming out of VP, because right now VP, they have too many tools of initiations and I guess de-initiations type of thing, disengage type of things, pardon me. And yeah, like the range coming out of VP between Slaughter's Blink and Earthshaker Fishers and Winter Wyverns, it really is too much for Navi to handle. And of course, it's gotten past that point where Ax.Mo can just snowball in and then not die or not get Winter's Curse or something like that. So they really do have to wait for a mistake. Just keep the vision out, keep lanes pushed out as much as possible, and just farm. They're going to try to go for Silent here, but I think Silent should be... Oh dear, he actually got caught by the grip.
Okay, Ditya, get in there and get it done quick. He's got to do it quick. Not quick enough. I mean, obviously, the opportunity for a solo Omni Slash just is not there when it's inside the creep wave.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could have timed it out a bit different so that you could have caught the Fiend's Grip the second the creep wave was about to die, but it looked like that wasn't happening at all. And it was take that opportunity while it was there, and with the lack of damage, maybe credit towards the itemization Silent has taken, stepping off and getting those drums first. He's able to just withstand and live on.
Again, a very nice inventory he's crafted for himself here. 24-minute defusal. Lately, PLs haven't been farming or pre-farming too well, rather, but hold that thought. I think Artstyle's dead again.
I think so, too. Gets in there, and he's like, I'm gonna get that freaking ward. Well, he got the ward down, but he's not gonna be able to get the ward without getting his life taken away from him. Bottom lane, they continue going for SoNNeikO. Looks like Dendi's able to save him with a little bit of a shackle shot, but a defensive shackle shot is not a good one. Snowball will avoid a bit of the sonic wave damage here. Ditya will eat it, and they just pull them out from the base and even onto the high ground. Oh, poor Ax.Mo gonna be going down. Gee, that's his mega kill streak. The second mega kill streak. My goodness, this guy is 12-2 on this Queen of Pain. Virtus.Pro getting ready to close this one out in dramatic fashion. 28-9 already as they push on for the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, G's Quap is definitely one of the best in the world. This guy is like lane CSing, lane control, and his team fight positioning with the hero. It's absolutely phenomenal. So, it's part of Virtus.Pro's successes. I mean.
Yeah. He's always kind of been there, and to his fortunate, self, it's his meta right now. You still got your Shadow Fiends, your Queen of Pains that still kind of take reign there. If it had been a different time of Pucks and back to Storm Spirits, we'll see. But G's been around for a long time, and we always expect the best from him here, and it's been working out nicely. He's still back in season, and Virtus.Pro realized they need to back up, and they still have a tier 1 top lane they can even bring down. Lots of money still on the map for them to already enhance their gross net worth advantage. As you can see, 12K, same for XP. It's almost time for Navi to pull out something a bit dramatic here if they feel like they're just going to be starved out completely.
Yep, and not sure how dramatic a team synergy session at the Ancients is, but they just had one, and it looks like they're going to roll out together.
It's a huddle. Just having a bit of a powwow. What is the game plan, fellas? They're creeping bottom in hopes that maybe a lone silent PL will be there to farm it, but they will be waiting quite a bit. And it looks like they'll be heading back. But at this point, it's really difficult for anyone to kind of push a lane on the side here. You're going to have a Winter Wyvern to quickly sneak in, hit you up with the Curse. Of course, the blinking Slardar and now even, blinking FNG Earthshaker is just a bit too scary. So Navi are stuck in this buddy-buddy system, and I don't know. It's just one of those things, like, it looks like it's going to be one of those slow and painful deaths of a game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so as well. I think VP's next real play comes out of Roshan after they take the tier 2, the remaining tier 2 at top. And of course, I don't think Navi can contest. Maybe it's their time to go for like a last-ditch effort with a smoke on the Juggernaut and finally use an Omni Slash since like minute 15 or something. But VP have so much map control, despite the warding being pretty nice for Navi right now too. And again, we can see, as you said, why they have this buddy system going on. Is they really can't leave anybody alone.
Virtus.Pro do a very cautious deep smoke now, and they are on the move. I mean, they're just rolling out right now. Straight down this bottom lane, maybe going for the finishing blow.
Man.
They are just hustling. And Ditya, hello, how you doing? See you later. Oh, poor SoNNeikO gets the backlash of that Sonic Wave. He goes down, and just like, I don't know, like a diesel truck out from hell, they just roll right through Ditya and company, and that might be enough for them to just kind of take this game. Now, at least force out a buyback from this Jug. A very important one for him. He's just trying to put together the farm here, and now he's going to be a bit poor, and it looks like he may have to. Virtus.Pro not looking to let up the pressure one bit.
With the creep wave coming in now, and of course life points are slowly dropping to the harassment coming out of Tusk as well as Windrunner, but they have run charges in low, and he's also got a Yule Scepter. He's had it for some time, and yeah, looks like they're just gonna be able to pressure the tier 3.
G goes in, he'll soften up Ax.Mo a bit. As they pull back, he decides to pull the trigger, pops his BKB, gonna get the takedown quickly of Artstyle. Just takes not much effort whatsoever. Snowball, time to pull it out from the base here. Now poor Ax.Mo gonna be stuck. Oh, look at this though. Fiend's Grip on the Silent. Nicely cancels from FNG with that fissure. They're gonna be able to clean up Tusk. They're gonna be able to get the grab though on the Silent Dendi. One of the last hopes here. Look at that. Double kill for Ditya. Navi will hold with their buyback and what they got left in the tank. They will at least be able to keep Virtus.Pro back and at bay a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that VP decided to dive so deep on the side of Silent as well as DkPhobos. I realize Silent on the PL, he's very strong. Obviously, they don't have too many illusion clears, especially when Juggernaut was down. But he got caught by the snowball that was actually rolling on somebody else. And then he got Fiend's Grip as a result. He had Doppelganger up still as well, so I think that's sort of a slight positional error type of thing. A product of diving too deep, really. And of course, DkPhobos, he had the Force Staff, but he already used it, and he doesn't have BKB. So when he gets caught so deep inside base, he's sure to go down. And G, he already used his BKB and got out of there as soon as possible. So I'm surprised that actually that miscoordination type of thing happened. I thought if there was going to be somebody diving, it was going to be the Queen of Pain with the BKB, but he used it as a escape tool more than initiation. So
Yeah. And with that, they give Navi just a little bit of hope. You know, it was like that program we talked about before. This one, though, maybe not 10 steps. I'd say maybe a solid 5, 4. We'll see. They need another couple of fights. Could get this one square back even, but I think a lot of emphasis is going to be next on this Roche. It is a bit of a longer timer. We still got about 30 seconds or so, but I'm sure both teams are going to have their eyes on this Roche. Virtus.Pro should still feel pretty damn confident, though, with Echo Slam, Winter's Curse. They have all the ammunition they can ask for to put up a respectable Roche fight. Do Navi need to consider defending this one out, or should they just take the time to continue farming here?
honestly, I feel like if they give Roche to the Aegis to PL or Queen of Pain, I'm honestly not sure what their comeback prospects look like. I think they have to contest. I don't think there's any options.
All right, well, it looks like that may be the case here. Navi do smoke up. They're on the move, but Virtus.Pro are not in the pit at the moment here. FNG in a very peculiar spot. Uh-oh, someone's been spotted.
Nice thing by Dendi.
How you doing? He just power shots him right in the face. FNG realizes what's going on. He has to frantically get the hell out of there. Oh my goodness, Silent almost got himself caught in a shackle with him. Not close enough, though, and look at this now. VP looking to turn it around because they're not able to get FNG. They cold embrace him. They put up the curse. They're going to get the kill onto Artstyle. First follow-up. Ditya going down, and they get the Tusk. Virtus.Pro. An opportunity was presented to itself. FNG can say he was baited all along, but that definitely turned out very awkward and in their favor.
Yeah, that positioning he had there, it's almost like he anticipated the smokes, but he wasn't in the place to see it and react as well. So Dendi almost caught him out, and because of the spin coming out of the Juggernaut, since it guarantees him the 5 seconds just walking in with not much damage at this stage in the game, it basically exposed him and allowed Lil to drop a very simple winner's curse that got him killed.
And, you know, you can land fancy shackle shots now, and they even have a Fiend's Grip ready to go, but the damage just will simply not be there, especially with Ditya going down. That was his buyback as well, so he had been out for the count. Virtus.Pro are able to clean out this mid lane, and they can reward themselves now with a fine little hefty Aegis pickup here as they head themselves into the pit. It looks like it'll be a free grab there. And Navi, if it wasn't do or die before, it is now, because with this and already the advantage in the mid lane, they're going to need one hell of a miracle. Navi fans out there, start raising your hands and channeling your energy because they will need it here in Game 1. I don't think it's going to work, Claire, but
yeah, we'll have to see.
We'll see.
Again, 35-12, pretty convincing scoreboard in favor of VP. They've got 2 top net worths and obviously the PL that's extremely hard to deal with Navi's lineup. So with this Aegis, I imagine VP are going to go for the game-ending push soon. In the meantime, G is just going to push up the top lane, so there can be no fancy split push type of things or no nuisances that can come about.
And he already is sporting a nice chunk of change here. He's got nearly 4K gold saved up. And I would say he's already got some nice luxury items. The AC's already freaking done. Still got 7 seconds on his BKB. What do you suppose he picks up next? Is it just grabbing a classic like a sheep stick here just to kind of assert getting the jump on someone like Ditya or Dendi before they can make it away?
Yeah, well, I personally think Shivas and MKB are good. MKB just because you're playing against a winner, and Shivas, like, they have so much magic damage. He just blinks in and probably kill everything on his own, actually, with the Aegis. But it looks like, I actually clicked on him now, it looks like there's the double javelins available, ready to go, and he might be just waiting for the MKB money. He only needs about 500 more gold.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. Now you have a hard-hitting Queen of Pain on your hands to go along with Silent here, who's definitely, his inventory has PL'd out. He's got the Diffusal, Mantle ready to go, Boots of Travel already on hand. Phobos Sid's picking up those maneuverable items, the Force and the Blink he's gotten already of Vlad's, and it looks like he may be the one to pick up the Shivas as he already has a plate mail, unless this is a Lotus Orb or something. I mean, it might not be too difficult to Echo Shell back a certain Chain Frost then. That'd be hilarious. Maybe a Fiend's Grip.
Oh, that would be very strong for sure. But honestly, in transition of the projectile, I think Artstyle will probably just die.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, here comes Virtus.Pro. Now they have an Aegis in hand to help him out. This could be Navi's last stand together. And, oh, man, FNG makes the first move. Just dunks on the Ditya, and he's out. If you thought there was a jug in this game, you thought wrong. He is out for the count. No buyback for him. Dendi's going to be going down, and the white flag is going to be raised up just as fast. This game 1 is over. A domination coming out for Virtus.Pro. Well played to them.
Yeah, honestly, VP, following yesterday's victories, they're looking really, really strong, and I definitely want to give credit to Silent and don't want to take some away, rather. But this roster, you know, people have been sleeping on them because they haven't had the best sequence of performances lately. But this is a team that knocked out Secret at TI. This is a team that beat OG last night. So you have to watch out for these guys.
Certainly do, and we'll see if they'll be able to keep the pressure up and shut out Navi 2-0, just to give you an idea of where we will stand in this group if that is the case. If Virtus.Pro win this 2-0, that means that they will take first place. Navi will get second place. Third place will... Oh, I'm sorry, I had this backwards. Oh, okay, I see now. Oh, Alliance will get first place. Virtus.Pro second place. Navi will be shoved down into third place. Well, they'll have to do the last chance bracket, and we already know OG is going to be fourth. If Navi can manage... Oh, you know what? Actually, according to this, no matter what, it will be the same result. You know what? I don't know. Just to clarify, I got some awkward notes here from our admin here, Clairvoyance. I'm going to double check them over, and then I will bring up the updates as we turn for game number 2. So in the meantime, I'm KotlGuy. That's Clairvoyance. We'll see you soon for game 2 of Virtus.Pro and Navi. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Star Series Season 13, the Star Ladder / I-League production. $300,000 of prize money is on the line, and this is Virtus.Pro going against Navi. I'm KotlGuy for Beyond the Summit, going to be joined again from Clairvoyance, and I think I've cleared it up a little bit. Sorry again about the confusion on where we stand here. The guy put the teams on the left side in conjunction with where they're placed, so it kind of threw me off a little bit. But I can tell you that pretty much for either of these teams, it's obviously the difference between second and third place. Whatever team manages to walk away from the series with 2 wins will secure that second place spot. And that means that they will avoid the third and fourth place limit, where they will be going into the last chance bracket where only 1 team will come out between 4. So it'd be a lot better to secure your trip to the LAN final now than going through that last chance bracket. So very important matchup here. Here we are again, Clairvoyance, and look at the start of this draft here. Virtus.Pro pulling out the first phase Broodmother grab.
10 seconds
And
remaining.
a Darkseer is still out there. Interesting.
Yeah, but you know what? After
5
DkPhobos
seconds
played that
remaining.
monstrous Broodmother against OG last night, they can play this hero against anything, I feel, man. They played it so well.
We really did. It's similar to like what we saw from Vega at ESL New York. It's kind of like, we just know that we have the capable hands of this Brood player where it doesn't matter who you got. They're going to be able to do their job. And in some cases where it's an extreme, like some teams will pull out an extreme counter and they just simply try to shift the lane. They'll be like, well, we'll just put Broodmother mid. And then that just really throws the other team
5
off. And
seconds remaining.
we'll see what kind of mind games it's going to be playing here against Navi, because they need this win to stay alive and not have to go through that pesky lower playoff bracket. So here they are banning out the Doom and the Queen of Pain. They rid of the pesky Lil Visage, something you always got to give at least a little bit of respect to. And now I'm curious to see Tusk still out there and available. We could always put the Tusk Undying together, but you know, you got to start thinking about this Brood a little bit. Yeah, you got raises from Shadow Fiend to help you out, but do you go as far as to get something like an Axe? A guy has a name like Ax.Mo, he's got to be playing a decent Axe, I hope, right? Maybe? Or a Darkseer? Something, you know?
10 seconds remaining.
Almost certainly. I think picking up a lane counter to Broodmother, such as a Darkseer, is actually a good option. Axe was definitely a possibility, but Darkseer just synergizes better with Shadow Fiend as well. And I think with Undying walking around the map, you can probably do a lot more things with Darkseer.
Yeah.
Since Undying is not exactly a Spirit Breaker, but can function similarly in a sense that he can just run at you and not really care about what you have. It's a nice pickup on the Darkseer.
Yeah, you know, he's got the nice benefit just in case necessary. A long range team can have a pretty damn big AoE, could help cancel it a bit. So that, you know, it's nice. It also relieves Shadow Fiend and Undying. I mean, we got 3 mech candidates as it is right now. I wonder if Navi just consider building on top of this and getting the, you know, the classic come together and let's just push down objective kind of a lineup here and not look to press things too late for someone like Ditya Ra. But we just know Ditya Ra to be someone who can also farm out of control and pull later on. And Virtus.Pro managed to creep in a Dazzle here, Claire, and you know, it's a very good, scary start here. I mean, you're talking about Spiderling heal bombs now, a possibility.
Oh yeah, those are always nice to see.
Very scary. And
yep.
They have a great Roche lineup now, both between Dazzle and Bane. They are medallion candidates, and This is looking pretty nice for Virtus.Pro here. Is there a way maybe they could take advantage of the fact that they've already made the commitment to the Dazzle and Bane? Maybe they are not known to be too aggressive at the start. Yeah, they'll probably hang around the mid lane and have an advantage there a bit, but you know, we know where Broodmother is going to be. Maybe there's a way that Navi can use this to their benefit and roll something a bit different. I don't know, like a bounty hunter, anything to just kind of take advantage of what Virtus.Pro have shown so far.
More than taking advantage, I think they might be forced to do something like the gyrocopter. And one of the reasons why I say that is because I feel like VP really want that hero this game.
Oh man,
it's very good against Darkseer, not only with Dazzle against Darkseer as well, but if they get in a dual lane scenario where they want to put the Dazzle with the Broodmother, and VP have done this, where FNG just goes on the Dazzle with the Broodmother in lane and try to get this heal bomb going from minute one, then it's just a standalone support that can, standalone carry that can do relatively well against Darkseer, especially with the Bane's help anyway, and still farm up quite nicely. And of course, it's always very potent against Undying. You can hit the Tombstone and still hit all the zombies. So it might be that they need some sort of a deny pick, and no, they're just gonna offer the Wind Ranger instead. Another, again, probably a Dendi hero, something that he's played quite well last game, but I feel like he was just too ambitious with his rotations. And we'll see if he gets caught out for it this time, because they do have a stronger teamfight lineup with a lot more presence this time around.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's hard to blame the guy. Dendi, one of the most renowned mid lane players in the history of Dota, but that was back when it was, you know, the flashy kind of, you know, mid laners and typically one-on-ones. Now it's these mid lane cores, and it's always a dual lane. It's always a freaking 2-on-2, and Dendi's like, I don't like this. This is not how I like to play. And hey, man, you made the call. And now if you're not gonna grab up the gyrocopter, Virtus.Pro are like, thank you very much. This is looking like a scary VP draft. Very comfortable for them. Silent, as we know, he may be new to the roster, but he is not new to this hero, man. So he's just gonna do what he does.
I really think this game really caters to that gyrocopter pick. Both drafts cater to that gyrocopter pick. And I know Wind Ranger particularly doesn't care too much about gyro, because obviously the way she plays is the same against every other hero. Blink, Shackle, Aghanim's Focus Fire equals that most of the time. But this time you're going up not only against Dazzle, who can grave the target, or you can sleep the target or disrupt the Windrunner with Fiend's Grip and whatnot. But gyro also has Rocket Barrage, which forces Windrunners to always stay out of range. And with Blink, sometimes it's not that easy. And gyro is also a very fast hero. So I think, as you said, man, like both teams are kind of going for comfort heroes, but I feel like VP's more experienced with their line of comfort heroes than Navi are with theirs. So in that sense, they pick up the Lina now. It looks like it's their support. I'm guessing it's gonna be SoNNeiko's hero, and I kind of doubt it already, to be honest. I thought that they needed something like a silencer to deal with Dazzle as well as Bane, but it's hard to run it into a Broodmother, so I can understand that they want some AOE. But it's still a very squishy intel hero with slow movement speed, susceptible to dying very easily to nukes and right clicks. So I don't know. There's no setup stun for the Lina either.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's going to be part of some sort of aggro plan they want to do, where, you know, they would probably love to get the hopeful matchup of putting Darkseer against the Brood, maybe in a one-on-one bottom lane, and then they could just put a try together at the top with the Undying Lina and, well, I suppose the Wind Ranger at that point. I'm very curious to see how Navi are going to be plotting this one out. Maybe they have something up their sleeve. They might need something up their sleeve to throw Virtus.Pro off their game, because they're already going to be in their comfort zone with this draft. Now, all they need is some way to stop this possible Shadow Fiend mid laner. I love the ban on the Viper from Navi. I thought that would have been a very nice option for G here. But now, without being able to reach back for the Queen of Pain, do we get the Precious G Invoker maybe? What other options are there for him to go against this, you know, Mr. Fiend in the mid lane, if it is going to be him?
I think, well, Queen of Pain is banned, but even if the option was there, I don't think VP would have opted for that, just because of how squishy Quap can be against the lineup like what Navi have. Invoker is definitely a possibility. I'd actually feel that Invoker, like a Quas Wax Invoker, complements VP's lineup really, really well, since it might seem like they kind of lack damage because it's all on the gyrocopter, but their lane setup is good enough that they can get their initial farm up. And you know what? There you go.
I love it. I love it. G Invoker coming out here. You know, it's not in his really common cards as far as mid laners go, but he has had to pull it out in a time of need. And I remember back at Nanyang, the first time I got to see him do it in a while, I was very, very impressed. So Based on draft alone, it's hard for me to not just right away favor Virtus.Pro. You know, they pull out the early crafty Broodmother. It forces Navi to reply a bit with it. They get Darkseer. I can't help but question whether the synergy and the, you know, big words like composition are going to be all working out for them. It seems like, and initially they wanted to have a come together, push down objective lineup, but maybe now it's more emphasis just on having a strong start in the laning phase. Depending on how they do lane it up, Artstyle is already on the Undying here, so something is going to be a bit interesting here. I'm just curious to see what it is. And if Virtus.Pro are going to be ready to make changes if necessary.
I think the shift towards that focus in the early game and just doing well in the lanes is definitely the right approach here. Again, VP's lineup though, it's really hard to push into the mid game, especially if G gets a good start. His Wex Quas Invoker is going to be likely top 3 net worth throughout the entire game. And that's going to be hard for Navi to push into again. The Empower potential, the EMP potential with the Tornado, it's so scary on heroes like Undying and Darkseer. We're so reliant on that mana pool.
Oh yeah, even SoNNeikO, Lil supports SoNNeikO. He gets hit by that, and next thing you know, your Lena's not going to be able to offer her Laguna at all, or much of her combo.
I would say every hero on Navi actually is pretty weak to an Invoker with Wex Quas, except Shadow Fiend.
Yeah. And the Invoker just kind of fills that spot nicely, where he's even range, he's got quick attack speed, if necessary, to bring down something like a Tombstone. I mean, it's hard to fault Virtus.Pro in the draft they have so far, but maybe the spirit of Navi will be strong enough to carry them into a victory here, because they will need it. It's game number 2 now of Navi going against Virtus.Pro. Virtus.Pro take this series 2-0. They have secured their spot going to the LAN final in Belarus, and Navi will have to work their way through a last chance 4-team bracket, which I don't think any of these teams want to have to do. So Navi will need to get a win here and next if they want to be able to get the straight invite to the LAN. So as things begin already, we got to find out which team might have the better level 1, and it looks like they both feel pretty confident here. Split up is going to be Virtus.Pro, and they may need to pull off, and it looks like they will. This will secure Dendi the top rune. Bottom one is going to be snagged up from DkPhobos. Almost was a 2-rune grab there from Navi, but the Brood was able to kind of pick it up for himself.
Yeah. Of course, he did take a lot of collateral damage for it. His life points went down, but he'll be able to regen up quite decently with the spin webs coming out here. And he's actually picked up a Ring of Regen right away because of the bounty rune, so how nice is that?
Very, very nice. Well, they got the lane matchup they're asking for. You know, they put Darkseer in the bottom lane as expected, or at least as they expected. It is going to be Broodmother as his opponent, and they'll be able to kind of have a strong start, but it looks like they are even going to rotate over that early heal bomb here. Lil has been flirting. And, you know, Ax.Mo could get caught out very quickly. It's going to be a slow start for Phobos, though. He needs to get to that level 3 before he can feel a bit more comfortable. And obviously, if you get that soul ring, things become a lot easier. But Ax.Mo needs to be careful as well. Now he sees that Lil is going to be nearby, and things might not be as easy as he expected.
Ax.Mo is actually pretty okay for at least until Broodmother's level 3, I think. The Spiderlings don't really put pressure on Darkseer, especially against the Iron Shell. And, of course, we have this problem where if you can't heal bomb the Darkseer to drop half his life points right away, then you're probably going to just die to the shell. So they really have to be wary on both sides here. In the meantime, the dual lane at mid still coming in strong. Yeah,
it's so much that, you know, already Navi have recognized that Silence alone top lane. They tried their best to bully him back with the Undying here, because this... I mean, this is like I say, like if you look at Navi's side, if this was a pub and I didn't know who they were, I thought they were mid laners fighting over the mid lane. Like it was just, it's like no one wants to give up their dignity to just step off and not hand the lane over. But it's SoNNeikO trying his best using that crazy long range of Lina, poking him back. And obviously we know Bane is one of the best mid lane contenders as it stands. So Dendi going to get cold snapped a bit here on the way back and looking to intercept FNG. Not going to get close enough for a Nightmare or any sort of sap damage. So they continue to go back and forth, and SoNNeikO will do the job making the stacks here on the side for your Shadow Fiend. Nothing too surprising about that. But
that was actually really close. If the cold snap instance procced once more on Dendi, he would have been frozen there for like half a second. Would have allowed FNG to sleep him for 80 more damage, coming out. It's pure damage, by the way, on Nightmare, and then probably finish him off. But you know, the situation holds that it doesn't happen that way.
We still will wait for our first blood, but G7 and OCS now. Dendi still strong and out in front at 10-3 here. We'll eat another cold snap, just a little bit of trading back and forth. They are going to be forced to split the XP. Dendi very low here. FNG wanted to creep in. They changed targets here. Sidestep of the raise. Dendi is salving up, and it looks like SoNNeikO will be able to get off the LSA. But it is just getting very hot here in the mid
Radiant's
lane.
bottom tower is
Both
under
teams,
attack.
looking to get any sort of solo XP. They want to ensure that they get the most CS as possible. But there's a problem brewing here, possibly in the bottom lane, though. Clairvoyance. Ax.Mo is starting to get taken advantage of ever since Dazzle showed up. He is now stuck at 3 CS. Brood is 16-6 and is just, look at this, sitting behind the tower.
Radiant's
The disrespect.
bottom tower is under attack.
He's
Yeah,
taking
so
over this
this
lane.
is when Broodmother hits 3, this is what you can expect, especially with a Dazzle being around the area. You cut the creep wave, and if Dazzle's here, of course, because of the heal bomb potential, the Darkseer can just die. He can't actually show these creeps either, because the Broodmother will kill him so fast that he's like 20 spiders or something like that.
And I don't
Radiant's
remember.
Oh, but he showed one of the Broodlings. That's a nice move.
Oh, yeah, that's when you have to test the player's micro. And he's like, I gotta go.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta get
there
that
you
one
go.
out of there. I know Phobos doesn't like it. It's like, yeah, he's a pretty good micro player, but you don't want to have to be
Radiant's
tested
bottom
every
tower
time.
is under attack.
So
Yeah.
Ax.Mo just trying to be cheeky. I don't remember. I'm sure he started off this laning stage with the help of a sentry ward, I'd imagine. But I guess with Lil being around, he probably got the sentry ward down. And poor Darkseer now is just kind of stuck in the dark. And this is where SoNNeikO may have to come into play. He doesn't personally hold a sentry himself, though, so there might not be any problems here for DkPhobos in the near future. In fact, it's good enough that Dazzle's already going to be rotating out and heading towards the top lane. Silent needs that extra bit of help. He goes down. It's a nice catch there
Dire's top
for
tower is under
Artstyle.
attack.
Undying is able to charge in with the help of Ditya, and they're able to get the grab, and they might get another here. Another power shot to fly through. This time Lil still holds the
Dire's
grave,
bottom
and
tower
looks
is
like we'll
under
be fine.
attack.
Yeah, it was somewhat of a close call, it seemed like, for a moment there. I think Artstyle, if he decided to not back so far out, he might have been able to right-click Dazzle and force out a grave or something. But now Ditya, he might be in trouble.
FNG comes in from behind. He has the DD, so he wants to soften him up a bit. But, oh, the juking and jiving from Ditya. He hides himself within the brief bit of fog and will not be put to sleep here from FNG. Nice little moves right there.
Wow, I think FNG actually screwed that up a bit. He definitely should have anticipated. If he walked any way towards the right side, he would have gotten fogged. And sure enough, he actually walked towards the right side there. So it was a slight mistake, but again, Ditya did recognize the situation and play that the best he could.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you want to try to be as efficient as possible. It's like, if I can get maybe 2 right clicks with his DD, it will secure the kill for sure. But because he took the time to get those auto attacks off, and as you said, wasn't in a great position, the opportunity will leave. And we will still see action
Dire's
top
bottom
lane.
tower is
They're
under
making a
attack.
move here. Backup's going to be coming from both sides, though, as they make their advancement onto Silent. Lil shows up. And who's coming in from behind? It's going to be Artstyle now. Starts dishing out those flesh stacks. Meanwhile, SoNNeikO is going to be going down, but we'll keep action here as Artstyle starting to get a lot of damage from the rocket barrage, looking to make it away. And it looks like he will be able to make it out safe and sound here. But on the up and above, yeah, SoNNeikO is going to be the one casualty here for Navi.
And in the meantime, DkPhobos actually gets another solo kill on Ax.Mo. He's going in again. Ax.Mo is going to have to surge out of this one. He is putting on so much pressure against the Darkseer just with a little bit of Dazzle help early on.
This is a big problem. 34-6, and Darkseer at 15. You know, maybe has had the benefit of a couple extra Spiderling kills, but that is not enough here. This Broodling, it looks like he's going right for an
Radiant's
Orchid, the
bottom
double
tower is under
Sobi
attack.
mask, if you will, there, Claire. But you know, I don't know. And now a
Radiant's
tower.
bottom tower has fallen.
Navi are just like,
Yeah.
we don't want to have to deal with this lane right now. They're trying to treat it like people used to treat techies. It's just like, just avoid it. The problem may go away in itself, but I don't know if you could do that with a Broodling all the time.
No, the problem grows, man.
Yeah.
Oh, are these gonna... Oh, that was still a nice kill. Yeah, you got some spiders out of it. I was thinking maybe Dendi would raise faster, and then that would have been a huge load of gold going to him, but unfortunately not.
Been a little bit of a struggle for Silent this game. He's 1-1, did drop that first blood, but he's back now. He has FNG by his side here. Nice stacks to work through, and Ditya does have to play this one a bit cautiously on that side. And uh-oh, mid lane, they're making a move for G. A Tombstone committed for it. Lil quickly gets the turnaround here, an early cold snap, and now they're going to get an extra bit of gold. Oh, Soul Rip not coming in time. I don't think it would have mattered nonetheless, as they're going to secure themselves an extra 100 gold. So that's a Navi attempted gank, and all that came out of it was Virtus.Pro getting an extra 100 gold.
Yep. Unfortunately for Navi, of course, I think Artstyle did use his TP there as well, and in the meantime, Ditya, I think he's going to get run down. Yeah, this is the problem. Even with win run and all these things, you can't really survive the tools coming out of the gyrocopter in the rocket barrage. It's too much damage.
Oh, Dendi! Okay. At that same moment, mid lane, you know, a tornado attempted EMP, but Dendi sidestepped the other direction, was able to get the turnaround, a nice raise connected, and G was not able to survive. A nice turnaround for them, a needed one. But still, every time I help myself to this bottom lane, I just can't help but feel a bit icky. It's still Broodmother, still a problem. Already has an Oblivion
Dire's
Staff,
middle
almost has
tower
the second
is
one
under
complete.
attack.
The jungle is now hers. Navi need a serious exterminator here. Oh, they're looking to sweep in. Oh, the heal!
Oh my
Ow,
gosh,
the
that
heal!
bomb.
Oh, Dendi's dead. Oh my
Radiant's bottom
god.
tower is
The
under
Spire's a
attack.
problem.
Yeah, that's not fair, man. That is not fair.
Oh, and right at that moment we catch just the end right there. Silence able to make the move onto Artstyle, and the Undying goes down. Uh-oh. Navi pulling everything together here at the top lane. And look at that! A snipe kill right there for SoNNeikO. Connects with the Dragon Slave, and at least they'll get Silent down. Silent is just around that 1 second too long, and Navi able to get a small punish there, but I don't know. This
Radiant's
is looking
middle
like another
tower
tough
is
test for
under attack.
Navi, even in game 2.
Oh, looks like the port is coming in from Dendi at mid here.
EMP, Dendi's able to sidestep it. Nice, two-man connection, but they did get the tornado off. Laguna's going to go out, but quickly canceled out with the wave. They put Dendi to sleep, so he's not off. He's not there to offer any sort of assistance. And both teams will kind of just go back to a bit of a stalemate here. So it's very, very touch and go here. Both teams really getting hot and heavy. I think Navi almost getting, I want to say, more aggressive than they should be, or should they be this aggressive, Claire, at this point in time? And where should their attention be? I mean, you want to initially say that maybe they should put some attention towards this bottom lane, but do they really have a say in the matter at all? And, well, I might
Honestly,
have to,
I think most of their attention should be at top right now. Just let bottom go. Let Darkseer Iron Shell the best he can. And speaking of bottom, FNG caught way out in Nowhere's Land.
I guess trying to do one of those very deep wards that proved out so well in game 1. This time, I mean, they have a ward down right here, so he gets one down, but obviously he will lose his own life. It looks like he got a sentry down on the high ground. I don't think that blocks the camp, right? I'm not sure, but we'll see. In the meantime, though, Navi are able to get themselves another kill, but the Broodmother now has an Orchid. Anyone coming bottom lane?
Oh, and G's coming in here. Artstyle is so dead.
Yep. They sweep in, they get the quick Undying kill, they want more, they want to get a hold of Ditya, and G connects with a tornado, looks to body block him from the front, sets up Silent with a good rocket barrage here. Dendi shows up, and FNG puts him right to sleep. Now, they don't want to make a go between the three of them on Dendi, they don't have enough ready yet. They don't want to get caught out with any bad raises, but still, big fight for Virtus.Pro. Still DkPhobos doing work here on the bottom lane all the meanwhile.
Radiant's bottom tower
And,
is under
Oh, Dendi,
attack.
walking into the woods here is not the right idea. I don't
Now
think.
he should know there were still 3 members over there. Nicely timed with the sleep and then the EMP. Artstyle is going to be forced to show up as the paramedic here. Gets a nice heal off. Going for tornado snipe. Not going to be able to connect onto Dendi. He is hit with the urn, and he is barely alive, but he will stay alive as he whimpers his way all the way back to the base here. Navi still hold this top lane. This is all space, of course, for that DkPhobos Broodmother now in the bottom lane. I mean, how many
Radiant's
TPs did they bring to the top
bottom
lane,
tower
and do
is
they have
under
anyone to assist bottom now?
Radiant structures are
I
fortified.
mean, I don't think DkPhobos might just be able to take this over. Well, SoNNeikO's
Yeah,
around, but he can't get close. He'll
If
die.
not already, of course.
Oh, man.
If not already. He's already got the Orchids. Now he's pressuring the tower, and of course, poor little SoNNeikO. I think he recognizes that Phobos has the Orchid, so he probably can't walk up. In the meantime, top lane again.
Yep, they're just bull rushing forward. They get that first takedown of Artstyle here. SoNNeikO gets in time for the Laguna, gets put to sleep in the grave, comes out to keep Silent alive. That tower almost takes him down, but they get him. The power shot connection from Ditya is going to be enough to drop Silent. And now Dendi rushing forward, tries to dish off the raises, but Virtus.Pro are able to make
Radiant's
themselves out.
bottom
But
tower
Clairvoyance,
is
look
under
at the
attack.
bottom lane. Look at the spider. She's in the freaking base. She's attacking
Yeah, she's
tier
hitting
3.
tier-
Get there, Navi.
She's hitting tier 3s already, man. And,
Artstyle's
nobody
like,
in
you gotta
sight.
be freaking kidding me here.
Dire's top tower
Stumbling
is
up.
under attack.
And it's just all right. The damage is getting done. This tier 3 is almost down to half of its life.
Radiant's middle
That's got to
tower
be
is
so
under attack.
disheartening right now for Navi.
What can I say? Tier 3's getting hit. In the meantime, tier 1's at mid haven't even gone down, or nor at top.
Uh-oh,
So,
SoNNeikO.
Solo kill maybe.
He's going to
No.
step back. Doesn't know. And, you know, wagers that maybe TPs are coming in, which he is correct about. Look at this. Phobos has stepped away from Mother's home on the bottom lane. Comes, peeks in mid lane and says, I don't like it. Heads all the way back to the bottom. Ooh, where Ax.Mo is. Which we, you know, he's been, I mean, poor Ax.Mo here on the Darkseer. I mean, because of the struggle that's happened there in the bottom lane, he has really been a non-factor this game. I was going to say I haven't seen a vacuum wall, but that's because he doesn't have wall yet. Clairvoyance, he hasn't been able to level it up. He's still trying to get the catch-up levels on the like vacuum first, but he needs more time, and there's just not going to be the time for him. I mean, I guess by the time he has it, he's going to need it because high ground defense is going to be in order here for Navi.
Oh, he's struggling this game for sure. And I just wanted to go back to what happened at mid with G using his combo with the tornado as well as the EMP. He didn't commit the urn. He didn't invoke up the quas with the cold snap. I think VP actually recognized that Navi, they like to TP react a lot. And I'm going to go so far to say that they're doing some of these things to specifically bait it out.
Yeah.
If that's the case, this is a really, really brilliant strategic move because not only do they lose nothing but like a little bit of mana and sometimes HP depending, but they force a whole bunch of TPs and have all of these heroes on Navi that can't react, and now they just got double cycloned up.
And they might be in a bit of a bad position here. EMP, I love that they're able to just easily sidestep. They're going to force Navi away from their precious tombstone. And they're just so disoriented, they're going to have to just move back as a group. And you're right. I mean, it just seems like Virtus.Pro are easily able to dictate where the fight's going to be and, at their will. They'll just pinch and poke here, play with the bear a bit of Navi, and they know that he'll react and put themselves all into one fight. And next thing you know, you got a spider creeping into your base, and they go take advantage of that. They're going to come in elsewhere and get a pick off on a lone support. And for Navi, they need to try to find themselves 2 steps ahead of that, but I don't foresee it happening soon. What is the follow-up here for Navi to come back into this one? Dendi has a Sange, so he's kind of at least got more health to survive, but no damage is really going to be coming out from their team. Look at Ditya, still has just boots, bottle, and a wand. I mean, he's holding a 2k of gold, but
I think he's going to go for Blink and just try to play this 2-3 position, Blink, Shackle, winner type of thing, but is it enough at bottom lane?
Yeah, they just throw out a long ball tornado, get the catch, and Darkseer has no chance at all. He's down. He does have a buyback here. Dendi going to be caught with a Fiend's Grip. EMP is already going to be on the mark. Dendi is going to be taken out of the fight. Laguna, though, on the FNG, gets alive with the help of the Brain Step. They're able to step forward and raise down G at this point, and Virtus.Pro are like, okay, maybe we can't do this fight without all of our team. They try to go in as like a 3-man hit squad. They end up taking down 2, though, so it's a worthy mission, I suppose. But without having the Dazzle around, and of course without having Silence Gyrocopter, the fight isn't as easy as they'd hoped for.
Yeah, Silent was like the stacking / farming agents in the meantime, and a little bit miscoordination coming out of VP. Of course, they dove pretty deep for that kill, but they knew they could get it with the Orchid, so at least they committed for it and got
nice
the
quick
better.
cancel. Dendi, he needs more. He's not going to get it. He's going to go down. Phobos comes out and just ruins his day. Dendi is out 40 seconds, no buyback. Virtus.Pro might be able to just kind of press themselves into this bottom lane. It looks like they're just doing with all lanes. I didn't even notice, but they have not even really touched top tier 1. Silent's finally doing work on it now, but it just has not been necessary to this point. Silent just been farming up that top lane in jungle, and we know what DkPhobos has been doing on the other part of the map. Really, Navi just kind of getting spread thin at this point.
It's just a really tough situation, especially for Ax.Mo here. It's just gonna keep trying to shell out the wave, but it's not enough. DkPhobos does not only too much damage, but he has the 300 damage execute on the spawn spiderlings, and there you go. Just keeps doing the same thing, rinse, lather, repeat at bottom lane, and they're just holding 100% map control here. I think they always need Dendi and Ax.Mo bottom here just to deal with the spider push. And of course they'll lose out on the other parts of the map because they're investing 2 cores to deal with a Broodmother, overfarm Broodmother, but I'm not sure if they have alternatives at this point.
Phobos does eat a raise on the way over. Notices that
there's a
Dendi
sentry
kind of
there
looks
too,
at
so.
him. Yeah, and it's like those little reads just give so much bits of information. As DkPhobos rushes by and sees that Dendi's trying to turn towards him with an auto attack, it's like, okay, there's a sentry up there. Lesson learned. I'm not going to go there again. I'm going to pass that info along to FNG/Lil, and they'll be able to take care of it. And all the meanwhile, they obviously have, thanks to someone like DkPhobos, space has been put out so that they can easily get at this Roche. Silent now has his Aegis, and as soon as he's able to finish out what looks like, does he have the full thing? Well, he has the Yasha, it looks like. BKB is also on the way. I think that's all VP could really ask for at this point, and they might be able to close this game out sooner than later.
Look at Ditya. Look at his inventory.
Let's see, what's this guy got? That's a Shadow Blade. Okay.
Yep, and that's a gem as well.
You don't see that every day.
This is their comeback. Yeah. They're putting all their marbles on this guy. If he can find the Broodmother, they get a huge kill and then finally able to push out the lanes. Even then, they're still going up against the Aegis Gyrocopter, sure. But without taking the fight, they need some map control, and
This
they
is
need to kill the
Wind
Brood Mother.
Ranger Extermination Service. This is the test for it. They see each other. He's going for the shackle, and they're going to get it here possibly. Oh, Laguna, and the power shot's going to be enough. So, hey, Shadowblade Gem gets him a little bit of loving right there. 781 bounty gold from that, plus I'm sure just some additional net worth for being so far behind, and it looks like just that kill is nearly a 2k gold swing.
Exactly.
Radiant's
So that's,
top tower
again,
is under
was the
attack.
pretty much the setup for their comeback mechanic. They're finally able to walk out the lanes a little bit, and
Radiant's
they're going to try
top
to...
tower
No,
has
this
fallen.
TP at top would have been absolutely asinine, I think.
It was SoNNeikO too. I'm like, dude, are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah. He'll just melt to the rocket barrage, literally.
Navi may be in trouble mid lane here. What a tornado!
Oh, dear,
that
you
was
can't
a
lose the
nice
gem.
catch. EMP with the Fiend's Grip. He's going down, and that gem is going down with him. And FNG is like, thank you very much. I'll take that.
Dire's middle tower is
And
under
they're not going to
attack.
be able to get this tier 1 mid lane. Man, what a tornado. He just predicted that easy movement out.
Yeah, that was definitely a nice catching tornado there, but honestly, I'm surprised that they went for that in the first place. They should realize against the Aegis and the fact that they lost tier 1 top just now, they don't have vision. They don't know where all the heroes of VP are. They can't go for any aggressive moves, even with the Brood Mother being down. And I guess with Brood being down, they think that it's like their best chance kind of thing, but no, they don't have too many options right now. They just have to wait until they see some of the long-range playmakers like the Invoker and
Dire's
Bane, and
top tower is
might
under
even have to wait
attack.
for the Brood Mother to come back and expose herself so they can get another kill on her or something. So going for that tier 1 is absolutely a no-no right now. And
this
SoNNeikO,
is-
he might die as well.
Runs in there. G has no respect right now for that Lena and just shows up and just starts to put a world of hurt onto her. Not enough to take her down,
Dire's
obviously,
top
but does
tower
force
is
out a
under
mech,
attack.
force out some cautious play here, including a tombstone from Navi. Virtus.Pro just happy to continue to do those kind of things. They just mess with Navi a bit and force him to do stuff to their advantage. And now they can just kind of stall out a bit and then move on forward. Without a gem, I mean, they're really going to be in the dark at this point. I mean, we look over the vision now. Navi don't have much of it. Just a little bit of breathing room at this top lane where a tier 2 still stands. But outside of that, things are going to continue to get a bit more grim. Phobos, man, is still king of net worth. What a showing from him on this Brood Mother.
Radiant's
That
middle
is the
tower
definition
is
of a
under
Brood
attack.
Mother game if I ever saw one. Just took over the whole bottom part, got that early creep in of a tier 2 tower, and it's now just a serious problem here. And with that, Virtus.Pro, looks like they're going to get an easy tier 2
Dire's
tower.
bottom tower
Navi's
is
still
under
pushing
attack.
in. They want to get their second tower of the
Dire's
game, and
top
they will get
tower
it in the
has
top tier
fallen.
1. And just simply farm what they can on these cores until it's absolutely necessary to come back and defend, which will
Radiant's
probably be
bottom tower
in the
is
next
under
minute,
attack.
if not now.
Radiant structures
Yep,
are
and VP,
falling.
yeah, they just beeline down towards bottom because they know they did a lot of damage. Shackle goes out, but nothing left.
Tornado EMP only connecting on the Artstyle. EMP will be off the mark. Virtus.Pro will step back and reposition, waiting for the next creep wave here, and then probably give it another college try. I mean, Silence still is sporting this Aegis here, but it looks like he's going to step off and finish out a BKB. You know, it's essential. He has the reliable Yasha for now, but it looks like if they can farm it fast, they might be able to still have the Aegis and utilize that.
Yeah, I think at the very least, he definitely wants to finish his BKB. The Aegis will probably expire. I mean, it's probably got like another 30, 40 seconds left. And even then, with the BKB, they can still probably push. I think right now for him, BKB probably gives him more, I don't want to say more life, but it's probably just better for him than 2 lives. The BKB would probably give him something like the efficiency value of like 3 or 4 lives or something at this point.
Oh yeah, it's pretty heavy magic damage kind of a lineup coming out from Navi too, so they put him in a great position here. Navi, with what little room they got, they're gonna try their best to hold it here. Early sentries even coming out for SoNNeikO as they migrate as a team here. Pretty much the whole team with the exception of their Darkseer up to this top lane. They're on the prowl. They're looking to put that Ditya Shadowblade back to use once more. But what they don't know on the other side is going to be FNG and even G here. Ghost walked. He could. Oh, they're going to get it down. He could do a longbow tornado here and get a big catch at that choke point, but he's holding it. He's waiting to get the connection for now. They step back. They'll see SoNNeikO. They'll take him down. Ax.Mo's like, guys, I got the wall vacuum. It's a pretty good one. FNG could be in trouble here. He gets the grave help from Lil. And Virtus.Pro looking to step their way out from this. Now, all the meanwhile, by the way, Brood Mother's going into the base, so that's a big problem. But Navi continue to fight up at the top lane. They've already lost 2. And Dendi's like, we got to get the hell back. Him and Ax.Mo looking to step out. Can they cancel at least one TP? Yeah, oh my god, if he didn't stop an auto attack and instant tornado, it would have been a cancel on the Ditya, and that would have been death for him, but it's okay. Phobos steps in, he does some work, the tier 3 goes down, he forces the rest of Navi back, and it's another solid trade there for Virtus.Pro.
And of course, Silence coming in from the side there, providing with some aerial assistance in case Phobos does need it. I actually feel like if Navi went on Phobos there, he would have BKB'd and probably turned on them, and if Silent came in time, they would have wiped them too. So Navi should be glad. They don't realize this, but they're probably very glad that they didn't get a bad engagement going on there for a second.
Yeah, things definitely could have been a lot worse for Navi. G is now a man on a mission here with that gem. He's just tracking out any additional vision. He will now see the sentry on the low ground, and he does not want to press himself too close. Oh, swing and a miss on that tornado. Maybe was anticipating Ditya to step back, and he will guess wrong on that one, but still just kind of continuing to show Navi that they are in the neighborhood, like sharks in the water pretty much, surrounding their base, and Navi just kind of need to second guess where their commitments are going to have to go, and do not want to overstretch their boundaries here.
Yeah, in the meantime, I think VP does recognize this. They have a nice ward that was just placed, I believe, by FNG. Just another tier 2 top there, and yeah, they're going to be able to push this tower mostly for free. And if they get it, oh, there's a Navi smoke that just got rebuilt.
Oh no, they went to make a move in here for FNG. They're going to run into a tornado, and now they're going to get a big Fiend's Grip off FNG. Almost going down, but the Grave is going to keep him alive. They're able to take down SoNNeikO. They take down Ditya. Artstyle to be next here. It looks like he's dropped 3 down. From the side of Navi, there is a buyback available for Ditya. It's going to be an expensive one, but Virtus.Pro know what needs to be done at this point. They want to close the series out 2-0 and secure their spot to that land final, and it looks like they're going to be able to here. They start heading their way towards the bottom lane where the Rax is already exposed, and they begin going to work. There's that buyback from Ditya here. Ax.Mo, he's got to land one hell of a vacuum wall. Dendi's got to get one hell of a couple of raises. Doesn't have Requiem. Oh no. Dendi loses his mana, gets cold snapped up, and he actually has to go heal up now. Not that shackle. Not happening. Oh man. Not looking good for Navi. Looking great.
No, not so much. And of course, Silent's just going to go back top and finish where he left off. Take care of that tier 2 tower. And I imagine VP are very wary of the Roshan respawn timer, which is about to begin. Once that happens, I think they'll take it slow for a bit. There's even a nice double damage waiting for them at top. Once they secure that, probably head themselves into the pit or in that general vicinity where they can just grab the Aegis and then possibly push for a base ending game.
Oh, for sure. It's just going to be a rinse and repeat what we saw before. They just have Phobos kind of mess with Navi a bit in those side lanes and then take that opportunity to move in and take the Roche for themselves. So we'll see. They have all the time in the world as they wait back, but you know, better to play safe than sorry. You risk throwing this game away, then next thing you know, you're stuck in a game 3. Navi pull out some crazy pocket strat, and now you are stuck working through the last chance bracket. But huge advantage still holds for Virtus.Pro, 15k or so plus. At that same moment, G gets a solo pick off here onto Ditya. SoNNeikO was going to come in and help out, but he finds himself now in trouble. Dishes out what he can, but it's not going to be nearly enough. And that may be it. I mean, Ditya is now out. No buyback. He had to, you know, spend it before. So this is 2 members of Navi now out.
So I want to point out his build, though. Oh, hold on. I thought DkPhobos gets a nice and easy kill on Artstyle. Simple Orchid into right clicks. And, yeah, this Invoker has got a Desolator. It's like a very pubby build. It's working this game, I guess. I mean, I feel like anything he bought after the Orchids this game would have been fine, but I guess the Desolator helps him get Roche as well and right-click buildings down faster.
Yeah. Can't help but feel like a little bit may be a bit of a confidence grab. Yeah, we're pretty far ahead. I can grab a Deso. Now he has an Aegis to go with it. And this could be it. The final defense for Navi here. They'll have all 5. All cooldowns will be ready to go here without some sort of big hold. They will find themselves quickly in the last chance bracket. We'll see if they're going to be able to hold or not. I mean, what would be the sieging game plan here for Virtus.Pro? They don't need to really commit as 5. Is it spread everyone up? Have G kind of creep in from one side, have DkPhobos work on the other? It's probably the most efficient
Yeah,
way
they
for them
can-
to close it out.
They can take it slow and split, but it looks like Dendi's gonna get caught out here, so
Dendi making his own opportunities here for Virtus.Pro. He just steps in, gets poked down a bit. Fiendscript's going to hold him through the BKB. Is he going to be able to get off the Requiem now, which does force down the Aegis from G. He turns back. He's making a go on Phobos. Phobos is going to be going down. He is out. Silent, though. Charges in. BKB is going to be able to get some kills here. That flat cannon goes to work, and he's got a triple just like that.
Radiant structures
Buyback's
are
going to be forced out
fortified.
now from your Undying, and, well, the racks start to go down here in the bottom lane. Dendi back for more, but
Radiant's
not
bottom
back to be able to
barracks
stop
has
them from
fallen.
taking racks. Virtus.Pro now make the move towards the mid lane. This may be the beginning of the end. Navi need to make another move. They're advancing on 4. No more wall, but a vacuum. Vacuum pulls him in. Dendi looking to step in, maybe get off a raise. It's not happening here. He gets thrown up into a bit of a tizzy. And now they run with a cold snap, with an urn, with a rocket barrage. He is out. Buyback is available. Will he use it? Man, he better. But I think they may know that this one is going to be over.
looks like with the second Raxus falling, they just don't have the tools to deal with this. I mean, Windrunner is going to spawn and maybe Dendi will buy back and go for a last ditch effort. We'll see.
Virtus.Pro step back as they see the TPs come in, and doesn't look like they're going to get a catch. Laguna on the G, but again, he will shrug that one off. It's still only that level 1 Laguna, even though she is level 11. I'm not too sure what that's about, but it's not going to be enough to do a lot of damage against Virtus.Pro here, so they're going to be back on defensive duty here, but that is 2 sets of racks down. Virtus.Pro now 1 racks away from Megas and assuring their spot at the LAN.
Yeah, and of course a 20k gold lead and a 20k EXP lead plus to go on top of those Raxes. And yeah, with the Laguna being level 1, of course, probably a misclick. He probably killed or saw somebody die in the area of the fight and just killed something immediately. But yeah, then he respawns now, still has the 1k gold because he didn't buy back. They didn't go for a last ditch effort. I really thought they would. But it looks like they just want to hold out for the time being, and maybe it's experience. I don't know. Maybe they just want to build up some experience for themselves going into a pretty much dead possibility no outs game, but we'll see. He's walking out now, and I think he's actually going to just die.
I mean, they smoke out mid while Dendi goes top in hopes that maybe they could draw attention towards him, and, well, in passing, they are going to catch up with G. Dendi starts getting fought here from Phobos. It's going to be forced to pop the BKB, runs in, Requiem out, but it's not very effective. Navi lose 2, make it 3 with Ditya now dropping, and, well, before they can get an essential team wipe here, which they are about to grab right there and now, it's going to be game. Navi go down 0-2. Virtus.Pro, big series for them. They look damn good, and they have just secured themselves that second place finish and a spot to go to the LAN final in Belarus.
Yeah, the LAN final in Belarus, and as you mentioned, man, you know, this roster right now, I don't know if it's the bringing in of a new, fresh, young blood type of thing, or, I mean, Silent is not exactly young blood, but new person, a new guy into the team, and they look very comfortable so far.
It's definitely working out nicely. I mean, obviously respect towards Illidan. He has been a veteran of a carry and very, very good, but maybe just where the meta has been going, or maybe the play style of Virtus.Pro has been shifting a bit. They found Silent to fill the void in the meantime, and when heroes like Gyrocopter are still a big deal, Silent's going to do those heroes proud. 12-3 and 8 performance for him, a strong showing altogether. But that's not going to close out the Dota for today. We have another series coming up. It's going to be Team Secret going against the CIS Rejects. It's another battle between 2nd, 3rd, and even 4th place, and we'll find out what team's going to secure the spot at that LAN final and what other team is going to have to go through the last chance bracket. And yeah, for Navi fans, don't worry, Navi do still have another chance to compete. They're just going to have to now do it through the 4-team bracket below. So with that said, we'll cut to a break before we hop into the next series. I'm KotlGuy, that's Clairvoyance. We'll see you very soon.